Hey, today we're going to be going over the complete setup for the bar shape, or the bar chord, from elbow position to finger position to your hands and everything else. So let's get started. So the way you set up for the bar shape is the exact same way you set up for the bar chord, which I'll show you right here. So you've got your bar chords on the sixth string, major, minor. And then on the fifth string, major, minor. Like I said, your setup is the exact same. So just talking about my personal position, it might be a little bit different for you. Whatever is comfortable and whatever you can do it correctly with will work. So talking about elbow position, I always keep my elbow just about an inch or two away from my body whenever I play anything. I always keep my thumb directly behind the neck, pointing up to the head here. So if you want to take a look, I keep my thumb just like that. Now we'll talk about finger position a little bit here. We're only talking about the bar shape right now. We're not going into the actual chord. And so what I mean by the bar shape is your foundation of your index finger on the strings, just like this. Right? So the way I recommend getting to know this shape, so you can set up and have a comfortable position for your chords. So here's your index finger, and it still rests like that when you play the bar chords. So the way I've recommended warming up is you start off with two fingers, and for my index finger, I always keep it rested just slightly on the left side, if you can see that there. I keep it as close to the end of the fret as possible. So it's on the third fret, almost touching the fourth fret there, that you can see. And you'll see it's pointing up towards my head just slightly. Then we'll move. Hopefully that's not too hard for you to get down. Then we'll move to the third string, the top three strings. I've got those clear. And what you want to do when you're going from string to string is you want to make as little of an adjustment as possible. So you see my arm, you can look at my arm in the background. My arm is not moving at all. It's all in my fingers. My wrist really isn't moving hardly at all either. It's all in my fingers. So a lot of times I'll see people go from the fourth string to the fifth string and they're doing all this crazy arm movement. You don't have to do that. You want to keep it as tight as possible. Keep the movements as small as possible. It should all be in your fingers and just slightly in your wrist and hands. So the only thing that's really changing is my fingers and where my hand is pointing to. So we're at the third string. Now we'll include the top four strings. Again, you can see my fingers slightly on the left side pointing towards my head from what it looks like. Top four. We'll go to the top five. Again, you see my fingers move here just naturally as a reaction, but don't worry about that. So look at my fingers. See, now as we go up the strings, the bottom of my finger, I guess my knuckle here, comes out this way a little bit more to compensate for me bending it over on the left side a little bit. So see here, it's almost straight up, out a little bit more. Now it looks like the bottom or my knuckle is almost in the middle of the fret here. So got the top five, and now we'll do all of them. So now you are gonna have to adjust a little bit more for this one. So a little bit of a buzz there at the end. It can be hard to maintain that finger pressure sometimes. So what I like to do is, you'll see me here, I'll have this here, and then we'll go to the fifth string, include the top five strings, and then if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can either, when you go to do all the strings, you can just have your finger like this, so that it's just poking over the top of the fretboard here, or you can bring it up like this so that a lot of it is resting and the bottom of your finger is what's down on the first string down there. It's all personal preference. So it'll be hard at first to maintain that pressure on the strings. You're going to feel like you have to hold your finger down pretty hard, and like it's gonna take you a while to get that down, but I promise after a while the muscle memory will be there, and eventually you'll be able to add in those bar chord shapes that you can look up. So again, one last time: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's setting up the foundation for your bar chords. So 5th string bar chords, minor, and then here's major, and then 6th string bar chords. So here's major, minor. So that's what those are for. I hope this helps you guys out a little bit, and enjoy.